This is Zorn of ZORNHEYM, and you are watching Stormbringer TV.
Thomas, nice to have me here, to have Stormbringer here actually in Sweden, in a little town called Västerhaninge. It's a little bit south of Stockholm, and thanks for the invitation. And your album came out, I think, a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
officially
on the 15th.
of
September.
I mean, there was a download before that, but it came out officially. Where hatred reigns and darkness dwells.
Yeah, where hatred dwells and darkness reigns.
Sorry.
No worries.
No. Where hatred reigns and darkness. Yeah, my bad. So this is the album here. Came out a few weeks ago, and it's a concept album, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell me in a nutshell what it is about?
Basically, the whole album takes place at an asylum called ZORNHEYM. Actually, ZORNHEYM.
Mm-hmm.
And each song on the album tells the story of one of the inmates that's locked up there. So throughout the album, you get to know these different characters. And I guess you can call this album like a pilot episode to like a new series or something like that, where you get to know all these different characters, and then something else is going to happen along the way.
Okay, so this is just the beginning of a story, or
this is just the beginning where you get to know 6 different inmates.
Okay, but I think one of the main characters is a violin player or a cello player, right?
That's actually the character Edward from the Opposed song, and I basically just the first song is
about him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it moves forward to another character in the second actual song that's called "A Silent God."
Okay.
And then we're moving forward to another inmate called Kein.
Mm-hmm. By the way, there are 2 videos out for the songs, right? For
The
Opposed and The Silent God?
Actually, there's no video out for A Silent God. We were supposed to do like a lyric video, but things got didn't work out the way we wanted it to, so we're still sitting on that to get it really right for the whole concept. So right now there's only one video out for the Opposed.
So watch out for the Opposed video out there.
Yeah.
And this storyline and everything connected to it sounds very sophisticated and very thought through. So I know you have some kind of, it looks like an opera libretto with all the lyrics in it, and like what the people are doing, and it look like a script for a movie.
Yeah.
Is it part of the CD as well, or is it just for you, available in the internet or something like that?
No, actually in the booklet you have everything lined out. When there's like a certain character saying something, it looks more like a theater script.
Yeah.
And that, so you have like the lyrics there, and then on the other side you have the doctor, the main doctor, Dr. Beetleheim's, his medical notes of the patient.
Okay.
So what you can actually do is to read through the medical stuff first to kind of get to know the character, and then when you listen to the actual song, everything will make a lot more sense.
Okay. But it seems like somebody of the band working in an asylum, actually.
We've done a lot of research on this. Everyone has really been contributing a lot, and we've been researching the web, checking like tons of documentaries, and right now one of the members is actually working on a hospital, so we're getting a lot of like
get a picture of it.
We're getting the picture, and I remember Skukka, he was correcting me at one point, like, this is not the medication they were using at this time, because he knows this stuff because he's working at a hospital right now.
It's meant to be really thought through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've spent a lot of time on this album.
Yeah,
That's actually, we were supposed to release it earlier this year, but it got delayed because we wanted everything to be precise and perfect. So because you only have one chance to release an album, so we didn't want to stress it out just to get it out there, and then in 3 months from here we would be sitting here, why did we push it out when we could have waited that extra amount of time to give the listeners like the perfect vision of our concept.
But still, it's just 38 minutes long. So is it that because it's just a pre-episode of the following album, maybe, or is it just that you didn't have more songs this time?
We actually had one more song that we didn't finish, but this, like, one song is such a huge thing to compose. First, it's like the ordinary stuff that you have to compose the guitar riffs and vocal lines and all that, and then we have another section that's like the brass section, and then we have brass and French horn and stuff like that, and then we have to compose the choirs and all sections within the choirs and the strings and all the sections within the strings, and then record everything, and then come up with the story, write it together, and then write down the doctor's note and think everything through. So each and every song takes a lot of time. So this time we went with 6 songs, and we added a couple of intermezzo's and stuff like that to kind of because we basically want the listener to feel like they are a visitor there at the asylum. So
going from cell to cell.
Going from cell to cell, and then between the songs here and there, you're getting like a vibe from the actual asylum.
So if you close the eyes, you can get into it. But there's also a very nice comic accompanying the CD. What can you tell us about this? Who's the artist, and what was the idea behind the comic?
The idea about the comic was to deepen, since we worked so hard on the story. We wanted to basically do the coolest concept album that we could imagine. And since every song has such an epic story, there's so much to tell, and you can only tell so much in a lyrics and in a doctor's journal, then you will lose people's attention. So basically we did with the Opposed, we're trying to do the whole story of the main character there, Edward. Like, it's like a short movie, more or less. And instead of having tons of performance stuff, we're doing,
it's actually a movie.
More the movie feeling to it. And we wanted to take that concept further. And then I contacted a Finnish artist called Anne, and she had this life dream of making a comic book. And I told her that, I'm sitting here with so many cool stories, and I need someone to visualize them. And we started, talking back and forth on the internet, and eventually she did the Opposed, and I felt that she really made all the stories come to life in the way that we wanted them to. And the Opposed one, it got we were so proud and happy with it, so we actually used that one as a storyboard for the actual music video later. So yeah, we're super happy with how everything turned out. And
Yeah, I mean, who has how many pages? Like 30
uh,
ish.
52,
52.
I
Who
think
has
it
a
is.
52-page comic book coming with the CD? Is there any chance to get both of it in the end, or is it just sold separately? Or
um, as soon this is like a test press of it, and I think the final version of it is coming in a week or two to my house, and then we're gonna add it and open up our own web shop where you can get both the comic book and the CD if you want to, or buy them separately. But as far as it is now, you can only get the comic book from the band,
Okay.
and then we're sending off a bunch of them
Okay.
to Arne as well, of course.
yeah, are you working with the choir and with an orchestra?
Yeah.
And which puts you, of course, in the region of bands like Cradle of Filth or Dimmu Borgir.
Yeah.
Are you? Is it okay for you to have your style settled somewhere in nearby this, like this symphonic black metal-ish kind of thing?
We actually try and label ourselves as symphonic extreme metal because we're our singer Bendler. He has like this amazing clean vocals as well, and he's really showing that off in Whom the Night Brings, I think, and that's something that we have like an ace to throw in whenever we want to, but we don't mind getting
We getting labeled differently.
no, we don't mind if people are comparing us to Cradle of Filth or Dimmu Borgir, which
It was just me comparing.
yeah,
Because,
which I think both bands are great. So I don't mind if people are labeling it like that, you know.
yeah.
It's
But it's still cool music. It's as long as it's extreme
yeah.
symphonic metal.
The thing that we really try and do is that we try and center the music around the guitar, which I think differ us from a lot of other symphonic bands. So
Which group the instruments around the keyboard maybe, or the
yeah,
orchestra.
and I mean, and they kind of have the guitar playing like a cello stem or something like that, versus we are guitar players and we really enjoy playing guitar, so we want to have some stuff going on there when
of course.
messing
do
around.
something on the stage.
Yeah, so and basically we want to add the orchestra as the extra spice. So basically, when you're listening to the song, you're supposed to be able to mute the orchestra, and it's still supposed to be a very good song. But then when you push the unmute button on the orchestra, it's
Just unfolds.
and becomes this great song.
Yeah.
I
Even
hope.
more great.
Yeah.
But in your past, you have been a bass player in a very well-known band, which name we won't mention because. Are there? I don't want to know things about the band whatsoever. I just wanted to ask: are there many interviews starting with actual questions about those past in the band, or?
Yeah, some people are asking about bands that I've been in before. I mean, before that band, I played in another band with two members from Marduk called Devian, and we released 2 albums on Central Media, and people are asking about that too. So, I mean, if you've been in a band that people have heard of, they usually ask about it, but this is what I'm doing now, and this is what I'm trying to get focus and spotlight
of course.
on. But people ask, of course.
But you're glad the record label doesn't put labels on the record like former bass player of blah blah blah.
No,
like
I mean, I think the album can stand on its own.
Yeah, of course.
Pretty much. So if sometimes signs or magazines write that, and I mean it's basically the way things work, that if you want to have attention, you can use a label on it that's gonna get people's attention.
Yeah.
Basically, and yeah.
Yeah, but I think, yeah, as you say, Zornheym stands for itself. The music stands for itself, and yeah. Talking of asylums, yeah, you're a father as well. Besides,
Yeah.
besides being a musician, does he respond to your music, your son? Meanwhile, did you play some stuff to him, like to just see how he reacts?
Actually, I've played when we were mixing the album. I had to listen a lot, actually right here, and it was actually at times where he started dancing or fake growling, and he was 2 at the time, and he started like "Rrrr," doing stuff like that, and he was smiling. So, but I mean, I expose him for all kinds of music. Maybe I'm not listening to all my Rotten Sound albums when he's here, because it's quite fast, and I don't want to stress him. But I hope that he will take on the metal legacy once he gets older.
Hopefully. I mean, he doesn't have to, because I know many people whose kids turned out to listen to hip hop.
Yeah, or something like that.
Because they get like filled up with metal.
like in a reaction to it. But you never know.
Yeah, and so what could we do that we don't end up in some kind of asylum in our lives? What is the trick to keep the balance in the music scene, or as a family man or something?
Right now, I don't think I've ever had this much fun in a musical project or band ever before. Like recording this album was probably the highlight in my career, if you can say that, because it was so much fun. A lot of work and a lot of hard hours and all of that, but it felt so extremely good to, I mean, each song basically has like over 300 channels. So Sverker, he really did an amazing job with
the producer.
With mixing it. So I mean, this kept me from going insane.
Okay.
I guess that me writing about insanity kind of helped me.
Cleaned out a lot of insanity.
Clean up the system.
Yeah.
But surrounding yourself with good people that get the best out of you, and
good music, like Zornheym here.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for having us here in Sweden, in your private apartment. It's not an everyday thing for me too. Come visiting the people home. So buy the album Zornheym. I read it to you because I made a mistake twice. where hatred dwells and darkness reigns.
Yeah.
Right?
Check it out.
And check out the band's website for the comic book and additional stuff you want to have, a t-shirt or something. Yeah. So thanks, Thomas. And
thank you for having me.